about, and I think it's really important to give women and men, adults and children, an opportunity to have a common language. And I think that dance and music creates an opportunity for us to bring up 1 Billion Rising, to talk about gender issues, to talk about violence in a really non-threatening way, in a really non-confrontational way. And it means that we get to have the entire community involved. And you know, we've got people here today, you know, well into their 70s down to, you know, 8 years old, and we're all here for the same reason. And I've had a conversation with my mum about this topic because of today, and with my colleagues in the workplace, and they've been able to talk to their daughters about it. I think it's incredible, the work that they've done here, and
sort of giving permission to have that conversation and to have that dialogue without it being heavy and, you know, really weighted down, because it is such a heavy issue. But the lightness of the music and the dance sort of makes it more I guess easily digestible, so you can sort of receive it and you can have a conversation, open a dialogue about it with all generations. And as you were saying before, you know, people who you know at your workplace who usually would not show up for something like this in a more formalized context, but because it's outdoors in the open, you know, by the sea, with drumming and all of that, they sort of, you know, you could bring them along, so to speak.
Absolutely. And I think just the sense of community. We've come together today, and it's been great for our workplace to bond and talk over this, and it's been a lot of fun around the dance and the dance moves around the office. But just turning to complete strangers today and, you know, offering that closeness to talk about our issues, or to talk about how fun it is to come together and create a difference, and to see that rising happening together.
Yeah, it's important that it's a positive and that it's not a negative. Like, we're not saying like, damn you patriarchy, you know. It's actually, the message is one of positive empowerment,
and it's the strength to look towards our future and to talk about how we want it to look and how we're going to be part of that. It was a really safe place for us all to come and to celebrate and to form our futures for ourselves as women, for, you know, our sons and daughters, and for what that future is. I think it's an amazing opportunity for people to not have to talk about things if they don't want to, but they can feel safe to acknowledge our past and what it is and how we can affect the future.
And I think I also believe it starts with the individual, rather than pointing fingers to people out there and you should do this and you should do that. It's the individual who makes the change, who chooses to show up, who chooses to dance, who chooses to be a part of something like this. And through the individual doing that, the people around us then are sort of, you know, more open to it, or even maybe drawn into it, because we are as individuals, you know. And I think that's something that you were saying as well, about the woman finding her voice and changing things in society. And I really have a strong sense of, the more I step into my power as a woman, the men around me automatically shift and change. So that's been quite a magical journey of connection, but it's through facing the dark stuff, facing all the stuff that does exist in the world that we do want to change. And it's not going to change by looking away. It's going to change by us facing it for ourselves as individuals, whatever that means to us, whatever our personal experience has been, and then moving beyond that and saying, okay, but we can see something different. We can see another way. Another way is to come back into cooperation and collaboration and support, to come back into the body, to come back to dance and music. You know, that is the way forward. Like when you were saying about visioning the future and seeing what's ahead, and for us to create that together, I see that as a co-creation with the arts. You know,
Absolutely.
Using the creative arts, using music and dance and song and painting, or gourmet cooking, or, you know, whatever it is that is your creative outlet, nurturing that and then sharing that with others, and that's what we experienced today, was that sense of connection, which was non-verbal. You know, we didn't talk to the person next to us necessarily, we didn't know them, but we still felt that sense of connection because we were moving and dancing together and having a laugh together, enjoying the sky and the sea and, you know, nature around us. So that was really beautiful.
It was beautiful. You get to think about it on a personal level, and you question yourself and your own experiences and how you expect the future to be for yourself, and then you broaden that out to those people around you and what you want for those women and men in your lives. But then I think it's about coming together, so that collaboration you talked about.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's what this did today. We had lots of private conversations with ourselves and with those closest to us, and then we could come together with like-minded individuals, and we didn't have to use our words to express how we want it to be, because that can be the challenge, is that dialogue and finding the right language and the words. And sometimes we just don't need that. We can move and we can dance and we can take up the space and we can be in touch with our bodies over a subject that can be so very isolating. And, you know, violence and threats for women and gender-based issues around the globe is isolating, and women can feel on their own, and the trauma that we go through and the way that we think about ourselves and each other. And I think coming together to see other people, that the dance on its own is great and it could be a great form of exercise, but doing it in a group forum like this is powerful. It's inspiring.
Absolutely.
And I think that was the power of today.